up, friends? John Bush here. Coming at you from Radical Roots Ranch. Hadn't done a walk and talk in a while, so I thought I'd bust one out. And I want to talk to you today about how corrupt, fake, and phony our society is. The institutions are in our society, I should say. Because I eat real food, I have real connections, I use real money, real business practices, but these mega institutions, big banks, big corporations, big government, many of the big churches, they are about as fake and corrupt as they come. So I want to share a little bit about what's been irking me lately. Let's get in the sun a little better. As far as the corruption goes. And then I want to provide you with a solution. Check out, this is a little bit of the gardening that we got going on the property. It's been decimated by a freeze we had recently. That happens. Cycles, seasons, death, birth, rebirth. There's Luke. Where's Luke? There's Luke. We did love that dog. Okay, so I got to thinking about this in large part in response to this FTX scandal. So this guy Sam Bankman-Friedman, aka SBF, I think that's his name. He started this exchange called FTX, and it was one of the bigger ones, more prominent ones. It was propped up and promoted by the media and the mainstream folks, and turns out they were using a token that they created as collateral for loans, and so they had fake collateral and real liabilities, ended up going bust and costing many people all their life savings. Well, it turns out that this was an operation that was sending a bunch of that money to the Democratic Party, and there was even involvement in Ukraine. And I haven't looked at it yet, but apparently it had something to do with Katie Hobbs, this woman that's running for governor in Arizona against this MAGA lady. I like the cut of her jib, Carrie Lake, the way she calls out the media. But anyway, the point is, this dude lost billions of dollars in client money. His parents have hundreds of millions of dollars in real estate. They have all these beautiful assets and homes, and basically a big scam. Definitely some fraud going on, even though there's not like totally regulated systems within the crypto world. This dude broke all sorts of laws apparently when it comes to fraud and accounting fraud and all sorts of stuff. But he's totally living scot-free. Meanwhile, you got this developer of this software called Tornado Cash that allowed you to mix and wash Ethereum transactions. He's in prison for creating a piece of open source software. And so as this guy goes on, and on top of it all, the media, New York Times, Washington Post, Forbes, all this stuff, they're doing all these puff pieces about this SBF guy. Because on top of his connections to the Democratic Party, he was contributing and donating a bunch of money to all these woke leftist efforts like climate change, and on top of that, all sorts of stuff having to do with lockdowns and COVID response. So instead of the media, tearing this guy apart, instead of the Department of Justice arresting this guy, opening cases, he's being parroted as some sort of hero who lost his wealth, and now this guy's not going to be able to change the world, and it's just a total fraud scam. And it's stuff like this that makes me think, like, how can people still put up with this system and not opt out of it or reject it wholeheartedly? On top of that, recently we have all this crazy stuff going on with the economy. They're inflating the currency. These White House press conferences. It's like, how stupid do they think people are? And the problem is, a lot of people are that stupid. And then the people that actually wake up and see that there's a problem, oftentimes they get brought into this left-right paradigm trap. On top of that, this COVID nonsense, the push, the coercion, the manipulation, the pressure to take the vaccines. Now it's becoming crystal clear that the vaccines did way more harm than good. Now more people that have been vaccinated are dying than unvaccinated, and it's just another big fraud scam. Yet people still buy into the system. And it's really frustrating, honestly. So the message I want to do, Derek's been talking about this, how he thinks we should really start pushing more, promoting voluntarism more. Because I share oftentimes, I've been doing this for 20 years now, and when I got started, I didn't really know a lot about libertarianism, but I learned about libertarianism from Ron Paul, and then that turned into anarchism and voluntarism. I learned about agorism through Murray Rothbard, learning about him, and then found Samuel Edward Konkin. And so we're wanting to bring the message of voluntarism back some more. People need to realize that the state is not your friend. The state is the problem. Nobody's going to save you. Donald Trump, Ron DeSantis, whatever, Carrie Lake in Arizona, or Tulsi Gabbard if you're more left-leaning. It's all just a big scam and fraud. There are good people that are involved, but at the end of the day, if you are waiting around for people to save you, you got it all wrong. The solution that we propose is to exit and build. Exit the systems we find to be unethical, coercive, centralized, corrupt, and build the new ones. Is really the only way. This is the way. Back on the voluntarism bit, really what that means is we believe that all human relationships should be voluntary and mutually beneficial. That's really it in a nutshell. I identify as an anarchist as well. First and foremost, I'm a human, and oftentimes things get challenging when we put labels on them and people start to get divided and find all these differences. It's more important to work on finding common ground, but I like the term anarchist actually because it's provocative, but I think voluntarism is a little softer and it's less likely to arouse discontent or doubt. But yeah, that's all it means. All human relationships should be voluntary. And so of course, rape or slavery or some big corporation with its own private security forces busting up some competing smaller firm or whatever, right? Everybody recognizes that as being wrong. But what has been indoctrinated into the minds of the masses is that the coercive relationship that citizens enjoy with their government is acceptable and legitimate. Right? This is a lot of what Larkin Rose talks about in The Most Dangerous Superstition, and his whole shtick is like, we got to reject this false authority. And so the reason why that authority is so powerful in people's minds is because they've been inculcated, they've been indoctrinated, they've been socially engineered to accept this idea that the state is our paternal savior, and they maintain order, and they right the wrongs in the world, and they maintain economic balance or whatever. It's just all a big lie, okay? And a lot of people are spoon-fed that their entire childhood by being turned over to the government to be raised in government schools, indoctrination centers. So I find hope in the fact that with the internet, with social media, with alternative media, more and more people are beginning to wake up. But still, people wake up to the fraud of government and mega corporations and all these lies and scandals. But what do? There comes Luke. Just love that dog. What do people do? They just get angry. They post online. They argue with their family at Thanksgiving dinner. Blah, 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 blah. They go get involved in politics, only perpetuating the cycle of corruption and violence and coercion that is the state. So to bring it back again, exit and build. That is our strategy. That's what we need to do. I want to encourage people to take that anger, that discontent, that anxiety, that frustration that they have building up inside of them, and leverage those powerful, strong emotions as fuel to motivate you to act, to step outside of your comfort zone, to get comfortable with the uncomfortable, to join us in building a better world. It's going to take work. There's a reason why everybody votes. Actually, not even a lot of people do vote. But the reason why people that want to change things vote is because it's the easy way out. You wanna know it's hard? Organizing free people to build new systems. You know it's hard? Saving up money to put a down payment and buy a 10-acre property. You know it's hard? Building food production systems. You know it's hard? Homeschooling your kids. These are the things. It's easier to go and shout at the school board meeting and to feel like you've made a big difference with some great YouTube video. It's easier to do that than it is to raise your own children and have them with you and build homeschool co-ops and all that stuff. So I understand why people don't do it, but I want to try to encourage people and motivate people to participate more in the creation of new systems, of free systems. I mean, at the end of the day, our life's dependent on it. I don't want to live in a slave system. This whole central bank digital currency thing, the programmable money, the trackable, traceable, the turn-offable money, this is a big deal. And step by step, piece by piece, incrementally, this slave system, this great reset is being built all around us. So we too need to build new systems, right? We need to have our own new normal. We need to have a greater reset. Speaking of which, I highly encourage you to join us January 18th to the 22nd. January 18th through the 22nd. It's my son's dog, Luke. In Bastrop, Texas, or in Morelia, Mexico, we're hosting the 4th Greater Reset. Everything I've been talking about today, well, the solutions that I've mentioned, decentralized cryptocurrency, building parallel economies, alternative health, spiritual health, building intentional communities, decentralized, privacy-based technologies. We're going to break down all these solutions. We're bringing together 30 visionary speakers, activists, doers, entrepreneurs, thinkers, really cool people, community builders from a diverse background, and they are going to share what they've been doing in order to exit the system. They're going to share their exit plans. It's called the Greater Reset for Co-Creation. It's going to be focused on co-creating a better world. What can we do in our individual lives, and what can we do collectively, cooperatively, in order to create more freedom? That's taking place January 18th to the 22nd. You can join us in person in Bastrop or in person in Morelia. The event will be simulcast and broadcast live online. Anyone can watch for free online. We have low-cost tickets to join us in person, which I hope you'll do. But get more info on that at thegreaterreset.org, greaterreset.org. We're trying to do what we can. In fact, the folks that I work with, we're literally doing the work of dozens of people. I think that we're making a big impact on the world, but we can be doing more, and I know a lot of the people watching this can be doing more. There's a lot of folks that are satisfied with just sharing articles, forwarding posts on Telegram, and like I said, trying to ram red pills down the throats of their family members. I got news for you, folks. That's not going to make a bit of difference. It may be cathartic. It may feel good. You may have some sense of superiority over the folks that aren't awake, but it's not going to fix things. It's not going to create lasting freedom. You have to take responsibility for the creation of this freedom into your own hands. You have to take action. You have to get to work. You have to engage in your community. I'm not joking about this stuff. This is the real deal. We need to do this because the technology is being built. The technology is available for these globalists, these technocrats, these oligarchs to create this prison planet system all around us. And if that system is rolled out, then what we see in Chinese communists, the Chinese communist China, I always mix this up. What we see in communist China will be what's all over the world. In fact, Klaus Schwab just recently said it's a great model. Now, people are rising up and revolting in China, but the population's been disarmed. And so I hope it's not another Tiananmen Square issue. So my heart goes out to all the people rising up all around us. But remember, a lot of these movements will pop off, like in Brazil's taking place recently, and people reject elections and they want to overthrow one ruler only to put in another ruler. That's not the path, guys. We got to build new systems, or else we're just going to be caught in a perpetual cycle of violence and corruption. And that's what really exiting and building is all about. So it's crunch time now, folks. Don't let them build this system. Don't let them implement the CBDCs, or at least if they're going to implement it, don't participate. Break free of it. Break out of it, and it'll change the game for you. Now, before I let you go, I want to let you know about a special offer I've put together. I'm going to be posting this on the last day of this Black Friday sale we're doing. We put together the orange, green, and gold power pack. A lot of stuff I've talked about today, I provide solutions in really in-depth and thorough online workshops. You'll be able to get instant access to the online courses. This orange, green, and gold power pack comes with a cryptocurrency for beginners workshop. That's a 2-day workshop, about 14 hours worth of material with me teaching you how to get started using cryptocurrency. There's a focus on privacy-based cryptos as well, how to send crypto privately. That'll be really useful for you in opting out of the central bank digital currency system. I also talk a lot about self-custodying your crypto, stuff that would help you to avoid being wrecked like so many people, got wrecked by keeping their money on a centralized exchange. I give you the Buy Land Build Community Bootcamp as part of the bundle. That's the green. The crypto's the orange. That's the green. That's a 2-day workshop me and Rebecca taught about how to buy a piece of land, creative financing opportunities, how to buy land with others, permaculture, where to buy that land. What are you up to, Bill?
I'm going to dig a hole.
You're going to dig a hole in the creek?
Yeah.
Okay, don't fall in. That's included. That's a 2-day, 14-hour thing me and Rebecca did. Really good material. We nailed that Buy Land Build Community Bootcamp. That's included there. And then on top of that, we include the Make More Money Masterclass. A lot of the stuff like buying a 10-acre homestead and moving out of the city, investing in crypto, getting your life in order, having more choices. That stuff costs money. A lot of people in our community struggle with money. I used to struggle with money, was flat broke, got kicked out of an apartment because we were behind on rent, had electricity turned off, barely any food in the pantry, moved into a broken down converted school bus. It was a struggle, but I since turned my life around and really changed the game. Had a lot to do with stepping out of the scarcity mindset into abundance. So we include this 7-hour masterclass I did and included as part of this bundle as well. So you can get all of that. Normally it'd be $521. We're giving it to you for over 80% off, $97. $97 for those 3 courses: Cryptocurrency for Beginners, Buy Land Build Community Bootcamp, and Make More Money Masterclass. You can learn more or get that bundle today at livefree.academy/Black Friday. That's livefree.academy/Black Friday. There's Nomad Brad. What's up, Nomad?
Hey, buddy.
What are you working on?
Oh, building my home on wheels.
See, folks, it's about building, action, construction, creativity, doing stuff. Not posting online, although this video will be posted online, but not complaining, not sharing videos, except share this video, not arguing, blah, 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 not voting and lobbying. It's about doing stuff, making stuff happen. We got to build this better world. I believe in you. Just believe in yourself. Together we can make it happen. Peace and freedom. John Bush, I'm out. Visit livefree.academy/Black Friday, livefree.academy/Black Friday. Join us January 18th to the 22nd at the Greater Reset for co-creation, thegreaterreset.org. Peace.